The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is to figure out what word you would like to stitch onto your leaf. So the leaf should be about something you are thankful for. So be thinking about one word that could symbolize that. And you have to also make some other decisions about if you want to have capitals or non-capitals. So these are some words that I was practicing with. So I have the word love and the word family and also the word home. So when I was sketching these out, I used a Post-it. So a Post-it is about the right size for the leaf. So if you have your Post-its available, and everybody should have gotten some at the beginning of the year, locate those. And then you're going to figure out which word you would like to sew. So it could be any word that you are grateful for. It could be somebody's name as well. So what you're going to do is decide on the height of the word. So I'm just going to take about 1/3 of the space for the height of the word. And then I like to put a dash line in, because if my word is going to have capitals and non-capitals, I want those to all be at the right height, the letter height, okay? So I know some of you have learned cursive, some of you are learning cursive, and some of you might still not be familiar with what cursive, all the cursive letters look like, especially some of the capitals. So I did attach to the assignment a website that you could write into, and then it will turn it into a cursive word. And you could look at that cursive word while you do the cursive writing here. So the idea, sure, I could go print this out, but it wouldn't give me very good practice of how to do the cursive myself. So I want you to try to do this on your own as much as you can, right? So you can write the word. So if I'm going to write the word family, I want to make sure that if I want a capital, I could decide to do lowercase. So either way would be fine. And lowercase is attached, so that's kind of the nice part. So I think I will do lowercase. So my lowercase F A M I L Y. So when you're writing your words, you want to make sure that you keep them far enough apart. And I'm not quite happy with this A. It looks a little narrow to me, so I'm going to make it a little bit fatter. Oh, my pencil is not very sharp. Okay. And I'll bring that down just a bit. So adjust your letters so that the bottoms of the letters are resting on that same line and the top of your letter. So I can make this, maybe I'll make it a little bit wider too. And since this isn't a capital, I don't believe it actually needs to go as high as that, family. So it's a lowercase, F A M I L Y. Now when I sew this, it'll be nice because it will all be in one word. So whatever word you choose, you're going to write it on your Post-it and do your best writing and work on your spacing of your letters, because if they're too squished, then they'll be really hard to see in the sewing. So make sure you have a little bit of room between those things. So once I figured out my word and I like how it looks, I need to mark where I want those holes to be, and that's going to remind me where I want to sew to make the letter. So when you're deciding on those, the sharper the curve, the more points you need to have in between, okay? Because if I went from here to here, that means I would make a flat top on the top of my letter and it wouldn't look like a loop. So I'm going to space them out as evenly as I can. Now, I wrote in pencil. If I tried to draw these dots in pencil, it'd make it hard to see. So I grabbed the opposite color of blue is orange so that I have an easier time seeing where those are. And then I'm just going to mark and go around, but I'm leaving about a 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch of space, right? So when I'm sewing, I'm going to actually pre-punch these holes using that T-pin. That's the next step. And I'm going to punch through each one of these circles that I am drawing right now. Okay, so the next step is that we're going to pin down our design that we made that's all marked up, and I'm going to cut a little bit of the Post-it down just so I can see better where to put my pins, okay? I also have to decide if I'm gonna hang my leaf from the top of the leaf, like this, from this part, then I might want it straight this way. But if I was hanging it at an angle, I might want it diagonally. So you can decide if you wanted it this way, you're gonna hang sideways. Maybe you even wanna hang it from the stem, right? So I can decide however I want it to go. In fact, I kinda like it this way. So I think I will do it this way. So you're gonna use the pins. Those are the ones with the big pearl head. And I'm gonna pin it far enough away So what I'm going to do is go down into the leaf, pull it up so I can see behind it, and then I'm going to push the pin back that way, and then I'm going to bend the leaf. So it gets a little tricky, but it has to go back through, so watch out for your thumb. It's a little bit close to the word, so I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And then I can slide this down. So what I don't want is I'm very close right here, but I still should be able to get around there. Then I'm going to do the other side. So right now I can take my leaf off, and I could also do the same thing where I can bend the fabric and get through both sides and try to get it not to interfere. So I might have started a little bit closer. And as I'm working, I can slide this around. So that's going to hold it in place. So while I have it holding in place, I want to make sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to use my T-pin. And the T-pin is the one that looks like the letter T. And then I'm going to pre-punch and punch through, all the way through the paper, through the felt, and into, oh look, there's my word family from a different time I did it. So you're going to punch all the way through and get into the foam. The foam should protect your table or your work surface so that you can not accidentally poke it or poke yourself. So I'm just going to I put another pin in here to help keep it steady. And it doesn't matter where I start because I'll have a hole and I'll know if I've been all the way through it. Okay, so you're going to start and go all the way through. Now it's okay if I'm not perfectly on that paper dot, right? But where I poke the hole is where I'm going to end up sewing through. Okay, so we'll just fast forward until that part is done.